mind you don't get flanked. Improvement? Won't be looking that Cupidon in the mouth.
I brought the tech and lug to level cap. This Grenier sword and shield that you could get from the weekend special alerts from the Grenier. How it works, how it performs on level cap and everything like that. Let's talk about it. So, following that pattern of these sword and shields in the game, it throws the shield, obviously. It's always a Captain America-like gimmick, so on a different way from the Sigma Noctantis and the Cobra and Crane, this one deals significantly more damage, but it doesn't open up enemies for finishers, like the ones they do. With those, you jump, you throw the shield, it deals slight to no damage. You can, in theory, buff them enough to deal some damage, but it's not going to be anything too crazy, I think. But this one deals significantly more damage. And I brought it to level cap with Ash. I'm gonna call that this weapon is pretty mid, because I got quite some heavy buffing on it to deliver what is delivering on this level cap, which is some Hidden Herit that a funny thing about this one is that I made the build for Hidden Herit during the last weekend, and then during the week I actually had some other ideas. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna try some pure slash with this weapon, but I completely forgot about the uniqueness of the weapon, which is the heavy attack, and you can't really... I think you can't even execute a normal heavy attack with it. Usually, when it has something special with the heavy attack, the first heavy attack is going to be something special, and the second one is going to be the normal, which you can also access with a slide and a heavy attack, but this one you can't. It's just going to throw the shield in front of you. It goes a couple meters and it explodes, deals blast damage, and it comes back to you. I buffed this one with Hidden Herit, and it performed very well. But I'm gonna call this as a very medium weapon, because in order to perform the way it's performing here, I used Hidden Herit. I used combo counter at max, pretty much. And I even, just before starting recording, the recording of the 47th round, I just had to spend like close to 20 minutes getting my combo back, because I didn't actually die until I got to level cap. But when I got to level cap, I just got a bleed proc, and I didn't have anything to take off that bleed effect. My rolling guard was on cooldown. I didn't remember to go into operator mode, and I just dropped dead, just like that. So, getting a weapon, getting to use a weapon with combo is something that it's not likely that you're gonna do that very often. It's usually on endurance runs, or let's say you're gonna spend maybe at least the 20 minutes on a mission. That's kind of what I would think of when you're gonna use the combo, because if not, you could just use something like a galvanized reflex and get your combo count up to the 5 times and use it like that. But I don't think it's gonna be too great like that. So that's why I'm gonna call this one mid. But it actually felt really good to be using this weapon with as many buffs or as much buffs as I added. It definitely was able to kill the enemies. That was no problem. And yeah, it's good, but also the shield, it's kind of like a projectile, so you can definitely hit the headshots with it, but you can't really control that. It has a certain height that it's gonna go, and the only real way to change that is if you're on a stairs, the enemy's a little bit below you, and yeah, you just manage to land a headshot. Then it's gonna deal like pretty good damage. That is something you could try with Zada, but it is another extra thing. You know, with Zada, the problem is if you miss the proccing shot, you're screwed. And I don't know if that's worth trying. And that's the thing. Now, yeah, there was one kill that I remember. There was a really, I might even have failed that conduit. The demolisher just turned to the side, and my shield kind of hit his side, so he took like close to no damage. I went into this one kind of blind, not even remembering what I had set to do on the last weekend, because I had those ideas during the week. I was like at work, I'm like, oh, I could try the slash, and then I just okay, I'm gonna do the level cap, change loadout, go. And when I was inside the mission, I'm like, okay, I see that I have heat. I see that the heavy attack is something different that I just didn't remember. I deleted it from my mind. And then I'm like, I'm just feeling kind of lazy, and I know I can make this work because it has heat. I know how heat works, so I'm pretty sure I can get this thing to work. I got the first ticks from like everything built up. The roar was going, the mods were not the mods. Pretty much everything was going. Roar going, fully primed, everything like that. I was getting the 3 million per tick. Then I'm like, this is kind of low. But then I got like 9, even a 11 million tick on a heat proc. So I'm like, this is definitely enough for the level cap, and I'm gonna be able to run with it. Even if I couldn't with the 3 million tick, I could make it work with the primer. You know, I could just apply the damage with the attack and lug, and then use my Mutilus Cerner's shot once, and that would be enough for the whole duration of the heat proc to kill the demos. This is something that it might sound a little bit abstract, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more in another video because it's kind of specific, and it's it's pretty specific actually. So, another thing that I have to talk is that this video is unfortunately not being recorded with the gameplay, but I did record it with the gameplay. The thing is, I don't know if it is OBS. I don't know if it is the Windows, but I updated one of those, and it kind of lost my mic somehow. For you to have an idea, the only device that I have set for an input device on my computer is this freaking microphone. This one is turned off. The camera one is turned off too. They don't even show up on the devices list. But somehow the input audio capture for OBS just decided it was not gonna take from my mic, it was gonna take from my default device of the system, which is this one. But it was not working. After I did the level cap, I recorded everything, I'm just like, let's get into editing. And then the soundtrack that is supposed to be me talking, it was empty. So yeah, just had to record it like this. And I decided to use this thing that I actually bought, and yeah, hopefully it works. You know, I bought it to actually live stream, and I should get into that very close, I think. I'm just waiting to finish some stuff from college, and then I want to get back into stream. Yeah, that's it. Leave it a like, subscribe, and peace.
You got out while you still could.
Blade. You
Smart
exist
move.
to strike. You strike to win. The lesson ends.
If I may say, operator, your chosen Warframe suits you. Ha ha.
Till next time, friend.